As we said, cold and flu season is upon us. All the doctors are freaking out and, oh my God, is this going to be like the worst flu ever? Well, to help you prepare for the flu season, our guest today is one of our all-time fan favorites, Dr. James LaValle. Jim is a nationally recognized clinical pharmacist, author, board-certified clinical nutritionist, and founder of Metabolic Enterprises, a web platform and practice solution enterprise. He joins us today to share some of the most common questions he gets asked about the flu season and what people can do to prepare for it, and give us some of his flu-busting tips.
Good morning, Jim.
Hello. Good morning.
All right.
How's everybody doing?
Wonderful.
Good. Want everybody to grab their pencil and paper and get ready to start writing down, because this man knows it all. So,
oh my God! All of a sudden, I feel my head filling up with too much information.
Jim, why do you think people get so anxious and run down this time of the year? What do you think is happening?
Well, I think there's quite a few things. There's, depending on what area of the country, and you could be affected by seasonal affective disorder, right? It's getting dark earlier already. People aren't getting as much sunshine. Their vitamin D levels plummet. And that means most likely your mood's going to plummet. So there's the whole aspect of, depending on where you're at, how much sun you're getting, how much vitamin D you've got going. That's a big deal. And, of course, the other one is, everybody thinks about, September. It's like, oh, my God, the flu bug's coming. Well, yeah, because you got the flu stew in all the schools, right? People send their kids to school, and then they get all stirred up into that flu bug, and it comes home and it gets transmitted. And so there's back to school, the geographic nature of vitamin D, and then, of course, there's the fact that it's holiday season, right? I mean, everybody starts getting stressed out about holiday season. Do I have enough money? Where are we going to travel? People get sad, maybe missing loved ones, and all of these things. They get less sleep, and all of these things can start to add up to stressing your immune system. And then all of a sudden, you get a cold bug. You're like, where'd that come from? So your immune system's supposed to be pretty resilient, but when we start to stack things on it, like poor diet, eating a diet high in refined sugar, high in refined carbs, or go the other way, just being a carnivore, just eat meat, and that's all you're doing. So, there's diet, lifestyle, stress, environment, and relationships, and all of those things kind of come to a head as we enter into the fall for most people.
But thank God we've had the flu shot, which just
Oh, sorry, I laughed.
just negates all of that stuff.
A pharmacist laughing at the flu shot?
Well, I mean, the problem is even if you look at the flu shot last year, the match was horrific, right? It ended up only being 19% effective. Now, I won't even go into the other controversies around getting repeated rounds of flu shots. I mean, forget about that. Is it effective or not? If it's not effective, why take it? And, people all the time go, oh, well, I got the flu shot and I still got the flu. Well, okay, so if you're going to get the flu anyway, what did you accomplish? So I'm not a huge flu shot advocate. I'd say there's some populations that, at-risk populations where the CDC is very clear and medicine is very clear that people should do it. I'm not going to argue with that. I'm just saying for the general population, take a look at the effectiveness. Go to the CDC website, type in how effective is this year's flu shot, and then make your decision for yourself.
And it seems like even if you do get a flu shot and it's not effective, you got to have something to back it up.
Well, I think flu season for me, the best defense against flu is a good offense, and that means you're going to have to start to look at, well, what do I do going into flu season that's going to help bolster my chances of, being resilient? Because in the end, when you think about it, I remember I was talking with an NBA team. I was at the NBA Summit, was speaking in New York, and we were talking about cold and flu, and like everybody says, oh, well, player gets a cold or flu. They're out maybe, say 4 days with the flu bug, maybe 5. Well, the problem is that they're still not right for another week, right? That return to full play is another 7 days. So 12 days missed on a flu bug is basically a sixth of their season. So, you kind of want to, make sure that they're not missing, big chunks of time. The same thing happens when you're at work. You get sick for 5 days, but it takes you another week or two. I mean, and you guys have seen this, even 3 weeks to return to feeling good. People, it lingers longer in people in general, and I think it's because of the general status of the immune system of individuals.
And you, like us, you're a practitioner, so you're spending extended periods of time probably in a small office with sick people all day, right?
All right. That's exactly right. You guys are funny today. I don't know what the scoop is. I don't know why I'm laughing at some of these. It's crazy because, I think anybody think about it. If you're a cashier, how many boxes a day that people who sniffled with their nose and rubbed their hands and sneezed on their grocery cart while they're walking through during cold and flu season, and then you're having to take all that stuff and run it through the register, right? I think nearly everybody who is in some sort of close proximity of other people during cold and flu season really need to pay attention. And of course, school teachers, I mean, my gosh, they have to have the immune systems of, Superman, because they're getting exposed all the time. And so you got to have a good offense. It's super important.
So what do you do?
Yeah, well, I mean, honestly, I think there's some basic things that I do. I mean, I really do believe in de-stressing. So, I mean, I'm a big believer in, I don't know if you guys realize this, but your watch will tell you it's time to breathe now.
Well, it's kind of important, I guess.
I never realized it. But when you think about it, it's pretty sad when we have to have an app on a watch tell us time to take a deep breath. And why it's important that you take deep breaths, and I'm glad it's there, actually. I'm kind of being a little facetious, because when you take deep breaths, you reset your nervous system. And you have to remember, when your body stays in fight or flight, meaning the white tiger or sympathetic nervous system dominance, meaning, hey, my blood pressure's up a little, my heart rate's up a little, I'm a little overcommitted during the day, I'm feeling anxious, that's when your immune system's in trouble. So that's where you're going to be prone for catching a bug. And so just breathing is really good. You could do a 4-count breath work. It's called the old box breath method, right? 4 seconds in, hold 4 seconds, 4 seconds out, hold 4 seconds. And you repeat that for just a couple minutes twice a day. And I got to tell you, a lot of people that I teach that to, super simple, takes a few minutes, changes their life, because they at least download their stress a few times a day. And sleep is huge. I try to get people to understand, look, you've got to try to get 7 hours of sleep. I mean, it'd be great if you could get more, but I battle just to get them to get to 7. I think that's really important. Obviously, moderate exercise, it's interesting. The harder you train, the more you stress your immune system. So, you look at, Olympic athletes, 10% of Olympians won't make the Olympics because they get sick at the trials.
Huh.
So they don't end up not qualifying because they overtrain. And the first sign of overtraining is you get more upper respiratory infections. So if you're out there, I'm doing a Tough Mudder, I'm doing a marathon, great for your perseverance, great for your mental attitude, great for your mental toughness, not so great for your immune system. So moderate exercise, way better. And then, of course, the big one is, people need to get more greens in. They need to eat more plant food. I mean, you don't have to be. This isn't about becoming vegan, but this is about eating more plants, eating less refined starch, eating less refined sugar, and even eating less starch in general. I mean, people think because of a green tea, gluten-free cookie made with tapioca flour is gluten-free, vegan-friendly, they can eat the whole box of them. I mean, it's still a lot of carbs in one sitting and sugar. So those are things that you really have to be careful of. And then there's, of course, what do we take? And I think that's something we're all interested in, is what can you take to help your immune system.
Jim, for all those people who, you just can't get a vegetable past the green, past their lips, or the children who don't want to, they just won't do it. Is there a way to get some form of nutrition into them that, is helping to substitute for some of that?
Well, I always, try to get people, especially in that situation, to use green drink powders, because you can hide green drink powders all the time. So everybody drinks smoothies. So, when they're drinking smoothies, chocolate's a great way to hide green. I mean, honestly, so you get a chocolate powdered vegan protein shake and you add a nice big fat scoop of greens in it. I love Kyolic's brand. They're Kyo Greens. The Kyo Greens Harvest Blend is, it is loaded with, sprouted grains and immune foods and, organic vegetables. They're all non-GMO. They're made, they've been making greens for 40 plus years. And it's not just about making a green powder, because you can go and buy green powders that, literally taste like grass, which means it's not going to be easy to get down. If you don't like eating a vegetable, you're not going to like drinking grass. So, you gotta get something that's going to be pleasant. And I found that the Kyo Greens, not only is it, kind of a manufacturing excellence, product quality excellence, the ingredients in it are, top shelf, from, organic and non-GMO, vegan friendly, all those good things, but it tastes good. And it dissolves quickly. And I remember, I'll tell you again, a professional athlete, I'm working with him, he didn't eat any greens. His idea of a nighttime snack was red velvet cake and gummy worms. That was like, hey, I got red in there, right? Isn't that Pete? So I said, just try it. I had a stick pack of the Kyo Greens in my suitcase, because I always, carry them around with me in my briefcase. Pull one out, put it in water, say, here, drink this. And he looked at me, he's like, man, that's green. That's weird, right? What are you doing? And he drank it, and he went, wow, that was okay. He goes, I can do that. He has not missed a day of drinking a green drink in the last year and a half.
Yeah.
Because he feels so good on it.
I get
that and didn't get sick during the season last year and all those good things. And so the Kyo Greens Harvest Blend is just, I think, just state of the art. And then you can add a vitamin C with it if you want. Say you're a robust green drink person, you could add vitamin C powder to your Kyo Greens if you wanted. You wanted to add a little extra C. But yeah, that's the way I get it done for people.
Yeah, sometimes we suggest the moms or whatever to put it and mix it with a little bit of apple juice and water and tell the kids it's Monster Juice, and they just lap it right up.
Yeah, it's perfect, right? And, there's a lot. I wrote a little booklet for Wakanaga for the Kyo Greens. Actually, it has about 15 recipes in it. It makes killer pesto, really good chocolate pudding. You use avocado, and it's not sweet, right? I don't do sweet, so but there's really some interesting things and creative things you can do to hide greens, other than just even putting it in a drink. You can make it a part of your food intake, and it's really and I think that's powerful as well.
It's really great nutrition. Is everybody out there is taking the old drugstore multivitamin. You do so much better doing the Kyo Green Harvest Blend.
Oh, well, 100%. And plus, the thing is where do you get magnesium from? Chlorophyll, right? Chlorophyll, magnesium is the center of a chlorophyll molecule. Nobody gets enough magnesium in our country, and that's one of the leading causes of diabetes and metabolic syndrome is low magnesium. The government publishes that. So you need to get more magnesium-rich foods in your diet. Drinking green drinks is going to help you do that. And the other thing that's neat about green drinks is they're a real strong source of strontium, so it's good for your bones, right? That's that whole thing of what the gladiators used to eat, right? Gladiators used to eat that kind of basically vegetable concentrate slurry that made their bones as dense as they were, because they had bigger, stronger bones and were more resilient than other people. And a lot of it had to do with the fact that they were doing things basically like a primitive green drink.
And we found that a lot of people, our patients as well as customers and ourselves, when we, again, every day add it into our regime, better energy. You just feel better.
So much better, right? Yeah, I mean, the chlorophyll, the wheatgrass, the spirulina, all the great, once you ferment grains, of course, and you sprout them, they no longer are as acidic, right? They become more neutral and slightly alkaline. So you're getting great nutrients from those foods in a very alkalinizing blend, which, being alkaline is super important. And the other thing is, if you're not taking aged garlic, and everyone's been listening to your show, I have not been effective at convincing people they need to take aged garlic. You've got to get on aged garlic. The whole process of what's called the new term metaflammation, right? Metabolic inflammation. Kyolic strikes at the heart of that because it downregulates. It turns off so many mediators of inflammation. But one of the big things they found is that it increases something called gamma delta cells, T killer cells, in your gut, which when you get a cold or flu, if you're on aged garlic, you upregulate those gamma delta cells, and now you fight the cold and flu bug off more. And, of course, because it's Wakanaga, they've got human studies to prove that when you take aged garlic extract, the severity and the duration of the cold and flu are reduced. So I think it's really important. They got a great immune formula. I mean, if you're interested during cold and flu season, hey, what Kyolic formula I take Formula 103. It's got, mushrooms and olive leaf extract in it. A lot of interesting plant compounds to go with the aged garlic extract that really help your immune system. So I like that, and a lot of times I'll have people take a baseline of just, hey, here, I need you to take Formula 100 all year round, and then depending on what you're working on, hey, it's cold and flu season, get on the immune blend.
Absolutely. We've seen it over the years. I mean, it's been around for quite a while now, and proves every cold and flu season proves itself. People come back and be like, "I've been taking that 103, and I haven't gotten anything every winter."
What I like particularly is it seems the combination of what they have in this formula, the Formula 103, is antiviral as well as antibacterial, which kind of,
right.
Pneumonia always seems to come up in cold and flu season, but they never know, is it viral or is it bacterial, and this is kind of covering your base.
Oh, yeah. But, when you look at it, it has some vitamin C in it. It's got some mushroom extracts in it, so the mushrooms are great immune food. And then, astragalus, another one I'd say, which is immune food, very supportive of the immune system. And then you've got oregano extract and olive leaf, which, antibacterial, antiviral right there. I mean, you're in great shape if you get on it. And then, not to mention aged garlic extracts, bug killing capacity alone. Even if it just had that in it, it would be a huge value.
And we want to thank you so much. And what is the dosage that you usually recommend for people to take the Kyolic 103?
I usually during if they're a high risk person, meaning I'm getting exposed to people every day, I have them do 4 to 6 capsules a day, which is, the 6 is a little more than what the bottle says, but I'm just telling you this as a clinician. If you follow the guidance of the bottle, it's 2 capsules twice a day. But if you're somebody, because it's just food in there, right? Nobody's going to get, overdosed on taking a little extra astragalus or mushrooms or aged garlic extract for that matter. So if you're really at high risk, I really like people to just maybe take an extra capsule a day just because, you're getting exposed 30, 40, 50, 100 times a day to people.
Well, again, Jim, we want to thank you so much for joining us today and helping us to stay healthy this cold and flu season. And if people want more information, you can go to Kyolic, KYOLIC.com, or give them a call at 1-800-421-2998.